I began the diary the morning I awoke to the sickening certainty that my mind was slipping and that the edges of my memories were fraying like wet paper left too long in the rain. Each day I wrote feverishly, scratching out the details of my life, as if by naming them I could anchor them before they dissolved entirely. At first, the pages were obedient, carrying only my trembling confessions, the way the shadows lingered longer than they should, the whisper of a door closing when no one had entered. But soon the words shifted beneath my hand, curling into shapes I did not recognize, writing themselves in a cramped, urgent scrawl that seemed to tremble with a life of its own. And then I read it, the words that would haunt me forever. I murdered him. I murdered Tom Hastings in cold blood. I stared at the letters. The ink appeared almost smeared with panic, and my pulse thundered against my ribs. Murdered. How could I have done such a thing? I had no memory of it, no reason attached to the act. Only the horror that the accusation was written in my own hand, on my own pages. I could not stop myself from reading the lines repeatedly, as if the repetition might burn the truth into my mind, or perhaps erase it. The ink seemed to pulse beneath my eyes, each letter a small, accusing heartbeat. I tightened the rope around her neck until I watched the life slowly drain from her, extinguishing her light, like the most glorious of sunsets, disappearing into dark water. I turned the page to discover another confession, and then another. Tonight, I danced like no other. My blood stirred with the passion of 1,000 matadors striking at the life that stood before them. It was theatre at its best, and my audience cheered as I pierced his flesh repeatedly. As I read my words, I felt sickened by my actions and shocked at my delight in having achieved such abhorrent acts. The gap between reality and the macabre world I now found myself in was slowly closing in, yet I remained a stranger to the demon I had become. I gathered myself with difficulty, drawing my thoughts back into some fragile order, and lifted my body from the floor as though it no longer belonged to me. I sat again, facing the book, unable to touch it, unable to look away. It seemed to wait, not patiently, but knowingly. If you've enjoyed tonight's reading from my book of short stories, I hope you'll return tomorrow for more. Until then, sweet dreams.